One of the more interesting features added to PHP 8.4 is the ability to create lazy objects. Lazy objects allow us to defer the initialization of an object until one of its properties is accessed. This may not be a game changer for the average CRUD application, but it will allow us to make some amazing performance-related changes to our code. In this video, we'll discuss what lazy objects are and how to use them in PHP 8.4. Hello developers, and welcome to the PHP Architect channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Scott Keck-Warren, and on this channel we discuss a wide variety of topics related to the PHP ecosystem. Make sure you're subscribed so you can get the latest videos as they're published. In general, lazy initialization of an object is a tactic where the initialization of an object is delayed until the first time it's needed and not immediately like we normally would do. This can be helpful in several cases, but my favorite example is when we have a large collection of objects that have a potentially expensive initialization, but we might not always use all of the objects in the collection. For example, we might have a class that connects to an external service so it can retrieve some of the values. We might be looping through a collection of this class looking for the correct object based on a value. If we have 100 of the items in an array, we're going to perform 100 slow operations only to have a large number of those discarded without actually using them. What we want to do is delay the connection to the external service until it's absolutely necessary because it's so slow. Before 8.4, it was possible to implement lazy initialization in userland code by having a skinny or no construct method and then adding logic to our class to initialize the data before it's used for the first time. This works all right, but we have to be careful to make sure we always initialize the values before we use them, and there's a potential performance hit that we might call the init connection repeatedly. It's workable, but it's far from a great solution. Thankfully, if we're using PHP 8.4 or higher, we have a much better option. We'll be back after this word from our sponsors. Do you want higher clarity in production, but don't have the time to earn your degree in observability? Me too. Forget logs, metrics, and traces. HoneyBadger Insights is built around structured events. When you send your application logs and other events to HoneyBadger, you'll unlock the power of HoneyBadger's powerful new querying language, BadgerQL. You can then use BadgerQL to ask any question about your data, convert any event into a metric, and chart your metrics on a custom dashboard. You can do all of this on HoneyBadger's free plan as part of their comprehensive monitoring suite, which includes error tracking, uptime monitoring, status pages, and more. Speaking of error tracking, did you know that an error is really just a first-class event in HoneyBadger? In fact, you can use Insights and BadgerQL to explore all of your existing HoneyBadger data in new ways. It's pretty cool. Give it a try today at honeybadger.io. That's honeybadger.io. Lazy objects were added to PHP in the 8.4 release, which was released in November of 2024. In the release, PHP 8.4 added support for two lazy object strategies, ghost objects and virtual proxies. In both strategies, the lazy object is attached to an initializer that is called automatically when its state is observed or modified for the first time. Lazy ghost objects are indistinguishable from non-lazy ones and can be used without knowing they are lazy, which allows them to be passed to and used by code that is unaware of the laziness. Lazy proxies are similarly transparent, except for the fact that the proxy and its real instance have different identities. We'll show an example of this a little bit later. The actual change to the language adds new methods to the reflection class and the reflection property classes that will enable us to create an object that doesn't call its construct method until a property is accessed. This includes non-existent properties, which shouldn't be a problem, but might come up to bite you. To use this functionality, first we need to define our class the way that we want to work with it, which includes having a constructor that makes a connection to the external service and then loads the value of interest. To make the example simple, I'm going to fake it and just generate a random number. Next, we're going to use the reflection class to define how to initialize the lazy ghost object by using the new lazy ghost function. And then we can use it like any other instance of a class. The output of this is on the screen. You might notice that before we trigger the initialization, var dump shows lazy ghost object as the type, but afterwards it shows PHP lazy as the type, which is kind of what we expect to have happen. Creating a proxy is very similar to our ghost example, except that we use the new lazy proxy function and return a new instance of the class. Now, the output of this is on the screen. Now you may notice that before we trigger the initialization, var dump shows lazy proxy object as the type, but after we trigger it, it still shows lazy proxy object as the type, but with a PHP lazy class inside the instance property. This is where we need to be aware of the differences between the ghosts and the proxy versions. As a brief recap, PHP 8.4 added support to create lazy objects. ghost lazy objects, which are indistinguishable from non-lazy objects, and lazy proxies, which have a different identity from the non-lazy objects. I hope you enjoyed our video. If so, make sure you subscribe, comment, share, and like, as it does help others find us. Are there topics that you'd like to see us cover? Let us know in the comments section below. I always love to hear from a fan, and I'd love to know how we can help you. This is Scott Keck-Warren for the PHP Architect YouTube channel signing off and reminding you to keep watching, keep coding, and keep reading.